Ladies and gentlemen, there is no cause for alarm. We have a minor problem in the boiler room, but everything is now under sound effects of a nuclear blast. Explosion splits the boat. Dr. Benway ships Dr. drunkenly added 2 inches.
Now, folks, if you'll just care to step this way, you are about to witness
The complete, all-American, de-anxietized man.
William seemed to have a connection with everything. You see a movie like Blade Runner, and then you find the phrase Blade Runner came from him. The term heavy metal is attributed to him.
Burroughs achieved a great deal more than being arguably the greatest writer in the world in the second half of the 20th century.
He was thinking up something that wasn't even illegal yet.
And that is precisely what I always endeavor to do when I'm writing. I'm transcribing a movie, a film that I see in my mind.
Got a real thrill out of handling firearms.
This is better than shooting heroin. I mean, you shot something else and it went bang.
I bring not peace, but a sword.
He's playing William Tell with a .45, for God's sakes.
I want something to shoot.
Again, if you had your choice, would you rather be a poisonous snake or a non-poisonous snake?
In the shadowed realms of literary history, where words are both weapon and sanctuary, we find William S. Burroughs, a sorcerer of the avant-garde, a prophet of the surreal, a rebel in an endless war against control. Burroughs did not write stories. He created worlds, fractured yet whole, chaotic yet resonant. Today, we embark on a voyage through his life and work, a journey into the fragmented dimensions of thought, narrative, and rebellion.
There is only one thing a writer can write about: what is in front of his senses at the moment of writing. I am a recording instrument. I do not presume to impose story, plot, continuity. Insofar as I succeed in direct recording of certain areas of psychic process, I may have limited function.
Burroughs, born in 1914 in the rigid confines of St. Louis, Missouri, a child of privilege, yet drawn to the forbidden. His family, wealthy, respectable, manufacturers of the Burroughs adding machine. But William never fit in that world. Even as a boy, he was spellbound by pulp magazines, dime novels, and the surreal vistas of his imagination.
Thinking back to early adolescence, I recall a recurrent sensation of cuddling some creature against my chest. It is quite small, about the size of a cat. It's not a human baby, and it is not an animal, not exactly. It is part human and part something else. I can recall an occasion in the house at Price Road. I must be 12 or 13. I wonder what it is. A squirrel? Not quite. I can't see it clearly. I don't know what it needs. I do know that it trusts me completely.
Harvard came next, but it was not the halls of academia that shaped him. Burroughs' true education unfolded in the shadows, the speakeasies of New York, the opium dens of Tangier, and in the company of outcasts like Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. Together, they would ignite a revolution, the Beat Generation.
All arts, all sciences, a fasting Greek knows, bid him go to hell he goes. If you but say you're warm, he breaks into a sweat. If you complain of a draft, he calls for his overcoat. There is an exclusive wing of Lexington reserved for the do-rights, who are considered good rehabilitation prospects. They get better rooms and more medications. A do-right always shows up with letters from his clergyman, banker, employer, and, pictures of himself as an Eagle Scout, shaking hands with a priest on graduation day. There's no limit to what they'll do. You know that type, balls all over himself to light the boss's cigarette.
But beneath the maverick facade, Burroughs battled inner chaos. And in 1951, tragedy struck, an accidental shooting. Joan Vollmer, his wife, gone. A single moment, a single bullet, fracturing his psyche forever. Burroughs called it the event that unlocked the door, a spectre that haunted his works for the rest of his life.
Listen to my last words anywhere. Listen, all you boards, governments, syndicates, nations of the world, and you powers behind what filth deals consummated in what lavatory, to take what is not yours, to sell out your sons forever, to sell the ground from unborn feet forever, for Eve are. Listen to my last words, any world.
From this, chaos emerged. Naked Lunch. 1959, a book like no other, a fragmented, surreal collage of scenes, grotesque, visceral, and unforgiving. Written in Tangier under the haze of heroin, it was a scream against conformity, control, and addiction.
Drove all night, came at dawn to a warm, misty place, barking dogs and the sound of running water. Thomas and Charlie, I said. What? That's the name of this town. Sea level. We climbed straight up from here 10,000 feet. I took a fix and went to sleep in the back seat. She was a good driver, you can tell as soon as someone touches the wheel.
Naked Lunch was revolutionary, and as revolutions often are, it was controversial. Obscenity trials followed, in the US, in England. But beneath the outrage was prophecy. Burroughs warned of a world where control machines govern every aspect of our lives, and he believed that language itself was a virus.
His power over another Winston by making him sob mediums is not enough. How can you be sure he's obeying your will and not his own? Powers in inflicting pain and humiliation. A world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself.
And then Burroughs met Brian Gysin, the painter, the poet, the visionary. Together, they discovered the cut-up technique, a method of slicing and rearranging text to reveal hidden meanings. Words reformed, like fractured reality stitched back together.
No worse fate can befall a man than to be surrounded by traitor souls. Can any soul survive the searing fireball of an atomic blast?
The cut-up wasn't just a tool. No, for Burroughs and Gysin, it was revolutionary. It shattered the illusions encoded in language, those invisible strings of control. To rearrange words was to disrupt the systems, to take back creative power.
Ultra-secret and super-sensitive function of the Outlaw, a soul killer, to alleviate an escalating soul clutch.
From their collaboration emerged the Third Mind, part manifesto, part artwork. Burroughs and Geisen believed that two minds collaborating could produce something entirely new, a third mind, a synthesis of ideas, transcending the individual. Our studio and channel name draws its essence from this work, this groundbreaking collaboration, symbolizing the power of collective creativity to transcend individual thought and unlock entirely new dimensions of innovation.
Invested in far-sighted and responsible men in the State Department, the CIA, and the Pentagon.
And then there was the Dream Machine, a spinning cylinder of flickering light designed to induce visions. Burroughs saw it not as a gadget, but as a portal, a tool to liberate the mind from the tyranny of linear thought.
Governments fall from sheer indifference. Authority figures, deprived of the vampiric energy they suck off their constituents, are seen for what they are. Dead, empty mass, manipulated by computers. And what is behind the computers? Remote control, of course.
The cut-up became the backbone of Burroughs' Nova trilogy, The Soft Machine, The Ticket That Exploded, and Nova Express. These books were not stories, they were transmissions, fragments of a cosmic war, creativity versus control, freedom versus repression.
Desperation is raw material of drastic change. Only those who can leave behind everything they have ever believed in can hope.
In Nova Express, Burroughs wrote, "Smash the control machine." These were not just words, they were a call to arms. For Burroughs, writing was resistance, a rebellion against control, and a declaration of
They
freedom.
are as radioactive as an old joke.
As the years rolled on, Burroughs became more than a writer. He became a cultural icon. His influence rippled through punk music, through avant-garde art, through cyberpunk. David Bowie, Patti Smith, William Gibson. They all followed in his footsteps.
I am not an addict. I am the addict. The addict I invented to keep this show on the junk road. I am all the addicts and all the junk in the world. I am junk, and I am hooked forever. Now I am just using junk as a basic illustration. Extend it. I am reality, and I am hooked on reality. Give me an old wall and a garbage can, and I can, by God, sit there forever. Because I am the wall, and I am the garbage can. But I need someone to sit there and look at the wall and the garbage can. That is, I need a human host. I can't look at anything. I am blind. I can't sit anywhere. I have nothing to sit on.
And in the digital age, Burroughs' vision proved prophetic. The cut-up technique foreshadowed the nonlinear, fragmented nature of the internet itself, a web of collisions, recombinations, and evolution. When William S. Burroughs passed in 1997, he left behind not just books, not just stories. He left a blueprint, a rebellion against control, a legacy that pushes us to question, to disrupt, to reimagine.
Can you all hear me? No? Yes. All right, this is from the foreword to The Place of Dead Roads, a novel I have just completed. The original title of this book was The Johnson Family. Now, the Johnson family was the turn-of-the-century expression to designate good bums and thieves.
His words are not just artifacts. They are spells, invocations, a reminder that the battle for freedom begins with the battle for language, and to write is to resist, and to resist is to live. Thank you for watching. Visit thirdmind.studio for more.